All right. So I hope, guys, you can see me now. All right. So let's move on quickly. And thank you very much for confirming the audio and video is good. I'm pretty much on one of the fastest line in India. So about 250 uplink and 100 Mbps downlink. So there shouldn't be any problem with it. Okay. So again, moving on, everyone. Just quickly check your audio for those who said uh, having a problem. Yeah, just give me a moment. Let me give you one quick second to look into your audio and go from there. Okay, my team will be on chat quickly, and any questions you have, you can. Yeah, audio and video both are clear. Fantastic. We are really good to go. We have over well so far 35 participants joining in. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, so here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first set the perspective about this webinar, what I'm trying to achieve through this webinar. Through this webinar, what I'm trying to achieve is to teach you some of the advanced email marketing concepts that we have been using from the past, for past like couple of years, and we have managed to generate over hundreds of business inquiries and hundreds of sales out of it from last 1 year. And these are the concepts that has been taught by all the top marketers, all the top sales leaders that they have been using, right? How to set up email lead magnet. Now, before I move on, let me just quickly run a poll and understand the audience here so that accordingly I can continue this webinar. If you could just, the poll will appear on your screen. If you could just quickly fill it out for me and let me know what kind of audience we have today. I see a lot of crowd. In fact, we are maxed out. We only planned for 20 to 25 people, but we have a lot more joined us today. Fantastic. Sales professionals, entrepreneurs, consultants. Very good. Great. I'll be closing this poll in just 1 minute. So if you haven't taken part in it, quickly just let me know your inputs over there. Right. So we have got a lot of inputs. Thank you very much for that. Majority of the crowd that we have is both sales professionals, entrepreneurs, and we have consultants and trainers and coaches as well. Thank you very much for taking part in it. I'm just ending this webinar, the poll. Right. So let me just tell you the perspective about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the secrets that I'm going to share through this webinar today is from the sales perspective. I have been a salesman throughout my career. Before starting the company, I was into sales. I was the frontline agent, and then I grew up to the director of the company, heading the four different product lines with PLN responsibility across the global market that we were targeting. And then I started my own company. It was a one-person company that I started a couple of years ago. And today, the company stands among one of the top consulting and training companies in India, as awarded by the GC magazine, the Consultant Review magazine, the CEO Story magazine, and a couple of other platforms. And in this achievement, email marketing has a big role to play. And that is where I'm going to introduce these concepts to you that has helped me, that has been helping other entrepreneurs, that has been helping other marketers, whether from corporate or small businesses or startups, achieving great heights with the lead generations, inquiry generation, as well as sales generation. And those are the concepts I'm going to discuss. Now, having said that, this webinar is focused on how to generate inquiries and sales from cold email list. Now, what does that mean is basically whether uh, we will start from the step where you don't have an email list, you're going to build an email list, and then you're going to use it for email lead generation. Cold means you are contacting someone over the email who doesn't know you, who doesn't have any identification of who you are, and you will try to convert it into lead or sale. That's the whole idea about it. Now, when I said that it's on the cold email databases, it's focused on cold email databases. The concept of it applies to all kind of email campaigns, whether you have a warm database, whether you have a big subscriber list with you, the customers who have already subscribed to your list, it doesn't matter. These concepts are applicable in all kind of situations, whether you are sales professionals or entrepreneur or anybody, whether you are targeting cold databases or warm databases, these concepts are applicable everywhere. Now, the concept I would be talking about, they all are practical. So even salespeople, frontline salespeople who just entered into sales can apply it. If it is not practical, if it is not workable, I won't talk about it, because I don't believe in fancy things. I believe in something that works. All right. So with that idea in mind, let's move on and get started with this webinar. Now, how I have structured this webinar, ladies and gentlemen, it has 4 sections to it. In the first section, I would talk about how to automatically build your email list from the scratch. Assuming you don't have anything, this is the first time you're looking at email marketing. How do you build that email list automatically without much effort would be the first stage. The second stage would be how to build your email lead funnel or email lead setup. How do you do that? Third section of it would be how do you write the most effective subject lines and the most effective email body that attracts customers, and they take those actions that you would like them to take. And then furthermore, the last one would be how do you measure the effectiveness of your campaign, whether your campaign is doing good as per the industry standard, whether it is not doing good, and if it is not doing good, what are those sections, what are those areas that are not performing, and you can change them. So this is how I have structured the entire campaign. So after this webinar, you would be able to, whether you're a beginner or whether you are already into email marketing, it doesn't matter. You will be able to perfectly, effectively, and productively will be able to execute any kind of email campaigns that will help you generate 10 times more leads. Okay, so before we move on, let me just quickly understand how many people actually use email campaigning here, or they do regularly. Now, regularly is the keyword here. So you have to mention whether you are doing it already and not getting results, or whether you haven't started doing it, or you're already into it a lot of time. So what exactly is the status here? So far we have 50-50. All right. 60-40, right? It's going back to again 58-42. I would like all people to take part in it. So far 81% have voted out of all the 32 participants that we have. Okay, so it's pretty much 50-50. That's fine. Whether you have been using it or whether you're getting to it, you're new to it, it doesn't matter. All the concepts from the beginning we will be discussing. All right. So let's get started with it and start talking about the concepts. Now, first, most important concept that I would like to talk about in this is the mistakes that people make in doing their email campaigns. This is very important because the story starts from here. What are the mistakes that people have been making? Why they are not able to drive results? The first being, all right, just give me a moment. I just went too fast. Yeah. The first being no email marketing. See, the fact is email marketing is again one of the most effective channel that you should be using. I don't have to stress on it. You understand the importance of it. So since you have not been doing it, getting to it right now is pretty good, because this is one channel that can immediately start generating inquiries for you. And it gives you the reach to hit multiple customers, like in terms of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and 10,000 at one go. So it's pretty amazing. Emails, what email can do, calling cannot do that. So I don't have to stress much on it, and I'm not gonna spend much time on that. Let's talk about the second one. Second big mistake is irregular marketing, email marketing. Now, I have seen entrepreneurs and companies reaching out to me, those who says that we are not able to drive results. When I look at their email marketing campaign, either it will be monthly one campaign that they send out about product launch and stuff like that, or you know, 2 3 months once, just talking about the product update and stuff like that. These kind of campaigns, it's not gonna work on it. It's not gonna work out. You need to do it regularly, and the regular frequency is like 2 email campaigns per week. If you could do that, that's amazing. Even 1 email campaign per week will do good. Now the third and fourth is pretty much the same problem we talk about. It's two part of it. Either people have a broken email marketing system. What do I mean by broken email marketing system? They really don't, they straight away go and start selling on email. You would be receiving hundreds of emails daily where, people just want to have a one-on-one meeting or a direct phone call with you. Yeah, it's getting recorded. So we will share the recording with you, so don't worry about it. All right, so the session is getting recorded, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so talking about it, the two problems, the broken email system. Now people start getting selling straight away on email. I don't know how. I get about 20 to 30 emails daily where either CEOs or the sales professionals or the managers, they're trying to set up a call with me so that they can show me their either the CRM system or the e-learning systems, or they have launched new products in some of hardware products and all that stuff, and they're trying to directly sell it to me. That is one of the big problem here. It doesn't work like that. I mean, keeping the marketing aside, think about it. You have let's say a stranger show up at your door, and let us say, for example's sake, you are in a sweet making business. Okay, you're making sweets, and a stranger show up at your doorsteps. Now, when you open the doors for him, do you straight away hand over a box of sweets into his hand and say, "Hey, why don't you buy? We have launched this new box. Why don't you try and just buy it?" It doesn't work like that. See, there is a system to relationship, and it has multiple steps. First, you need to build a trust with that person, the stranger, and then you need to establish your authority over the subject matter. And once that is in place, then you need to give him the taste of what you're working on or what you're already offering, right? In this case, it is the sweets. So give him a taste of it. And then once he is satisfied, then he is all ready to buy. So you see, even when I'm explaining, it has 3 steps. You build trust, you build authority, establish authority, and then you give a taste of what you're working on, the craftsmanship of yours, whether it is software, whether it is hardware, whether it is uh, any product or service that you're selling, and then people get interested in it. So it is kind of a relationship. All systems aside, it is a relationship that you do. If you are thinking that first email campaign that you're going to send to customers and cold email databases and people come running for you, it's never going to happen. So first you have to realize that part. So no selling over here. Right. So remember this example, because I'll be using this example multiple times as I explain each and every concept to you. So first, I'm going to start with talking about how to build the list. Yeah. So now many people, many entrepreneurs that comes to us, many questions I receive on Quora and LinkedIn, where people are asking, how do I find a verified B2B list, or how do I find a customer email list? So this is the step I'm going to talk about. How do you build email list automatically? Why I say automatically? Because majority, 80% of the people that I come across, how they are building email list is either they are searching it in Google and trying to collect their contact email contacts, or they are going to directories. Some of the people, 10% of them, they just go and buy it, and all these things are going around. Now a lot of time, a lot of investments are being made into something which is not turning out to be useful. So here is, I'm listing 3 examples, 3 solutions for you for building email list automatically. First is, you can buy it online. Buy more, big vendors actually rent it, not buy it, but you can rent it online. And you have global list providers over there. Why I listed global providers? Because many of you are targeting US, many of you are targeting Europe, Australia, and other parts of the world. So you can go reach out to these people. Global, Email Data, Zoom Info, Crunchbase. These are some of the best providers. They provide a verified email database. What do I mean by verified is basically all the contacts they have provided to you, email contacts, they are verified. They regularly do survey, calling, send email campaigns to make sure that those emails are usable, they are workable, they are not dead, and you will not have bounce rates. Second one is the domestic list provider. So if you're targeting India, that's your providers, Easy Leads, Info Data Place, Book Your Data. Pretty inexpensive. It's not that you will be shelling a lot of money to that. It's a very inexpensive solution. Now the third one, which salespeople, entrepreneurs can use together, is email list automation, the list grabber tool. Yeah, this is the tool that helps you. Okay, so this is the tool that helps you build list automatically. Now, if you are in that stage where you collect data from directories, contacts from directories like Just Dial or Yellow Pages and stuff like that, and spend a lot of time, this is the tool for you that you can use. I would like to actually show it to you how it works, and pretty inexpensive. So it's not that you'll be shelling out a lot of money. Now, what does it do is it's basically fetch all the contacts from the directory in like 15 minutes. List grabber is the name. Let me just quickly show that to you. So it's pretty simple. What you do is, let's say, for example, you are on Just Dial. Let's say you're on a Just Dial. Uh, Just Dial provides a search bar where you can search for software companies, hardware companies, manufacturing companies in a particular region, like in Chennai or within a state and all that stuff. So all you got to do is just go into Just Dial, list for all the search parameters, find those companies. You will get the entire list. Let's say the first example, for example's sake, you go in and type software development companies in Chennai. You choose that and it will give you the list. Now, once the list is there, all you need to do is just select that entire list of 100, 200 per page, whatever results you get, and hit list grabber, which will be launched as a small software in the bottom right corner of your screen. And it will fetch all the contacts in a Excel sheet for you. And it's like in 15 minutes. It does that. You hit grab button and all the contacts will be automatically pulled from the directory, and it will be pulled out in Excel sheet. So there it is. It is showing it as an example. I hope you can see it. Now, what is the thing need to remember about it is these are unverified contacts. So unlike you're buying it from company, these are actually unverified contacts. Okay. What does unverified means here is these are not verified emails, because many of the people would have shut down the shop. Many of the people have stopped using those emails. We don't know what is the current status because nobody goes back to Just Dial and or Yellow Pages and update that directory. So we don't know the status of that, right? So that is very important. So we will see how to handle unverified databases so that you don't get punished for sending campaigns to it, because ISPs punishes you for that. But you got the idea. How do you build in 15 minutes? You build it through List Grabber. One more important thing I wanted to show you on screen: how much does it cost? Because many people last time they came back to me, they looked at some other software and they said it's quite costly. It is not. The license is hardly $250, and it's a lifetime license, as you can see over there, one time purchase, right? So lifetime license, and you can pull like 5,000, 10,000, whatever is your capacity and whatever kind of search you are doing. You can build databases in like 15 minutes, half an hour, saving you a lot of man hours over there. Yeah. So now let's take a look at, this is the unverified database. So a couple of tips for you when you're handling unverified databases. One being, when you're buying databases, first thing you need to do is buy limited list, 500, 1000, just to make sure it is working. Okay, for you. You can ask for test databases as well. but first make sure it is working for you, you get result, then go for bigger purchases. Get a verified list if you're buying it from company. Okay. And if you're buying it from company, get an industry focus. Now this is very important tip for you, because when I meet corporates, they straight away buy all the software companies, all the hardware companies, all the retail companies. Now your customer uh, can be the bigger retails or can be the smaller retails. You have to have that kind of laser focus on it. Like from in our case, we always go for small medium enterprise, which has a employee size between 100 to 300, right? And these companies can give you that kind of database with that kind of filters. So you should have, whether you're going after big corporates, small corporates, startups, you have to have that kind of understanding. Okay. Now the next one is, I'm just, a lot of people are, I need to admit, some people have gone out. Just give me a moment here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about, if you are using List Grabber to build your databases, what are the things you need to be careful about? Because we also use List Grabbers, and many of our customers we recommended and they are using it, and it is producing great results. We just need to be a little bit aware of how to handle unverified databases from directories and stuff like that. So first of all, you need to verify the database quality, how good the database is. Then you need to build domain trust. Now this step is very important. If you're starting new with email marketing, you need to build trust of your domain. If you're already doing email marketing, then that step is not required. Now the next step is avoid domain blacklisting. When you're targeting these kind of databases, you need to make sure you don't get blacklisted for sending to these databases. And the last step is planning investments, because the entire email campaign that we are going to do and all the softwares involved, it has to be reasonably priced. So even a sales professional who wants to do it from their own pocket, let's say company is not agreeing and he wants to do it from their own pocket, should be able to do it. So that's how I'm going to present that solution to you. First of all, verify the email list. Let us say you have used List Grabber or similar tools. You have built a list of, let's say, 10,000 emails. Now, first thing first you need to do is you need to verify it, whether it has a lot of good emails or a lot of bad emails in it. Okay. How do you do that? Instead of sending a campaign to all the entire 10,000, just take 500 out of it. Yeah, that will be the small chunk, and you will perform a test on it. Send an email campaign to it and see what is the bounce rate you are getting. If you're getting above 5% bounce rate, it's a trigger. It's a trigger that this database has a lot of bad emails. You need to first get rid of those bad emails. Otherwise, you will be blacklisted. Now the question comes, how do you get rid of all those bad emails? Now there are beautiful tools available, and one of the tool I'm listing out here, it is called clearout.io. Now this beautiful tool, what does it do is you submit the database to them, upload it in their website. It's going to take out all the bad emails and it will give you all the good emails back. Let me just quickly show that to you before I move on. This is the tool over here, right? And it hardly costs to get your 5,000 contacts verified. It hardly costs $20 a month, which is something like 1,500 rupees. You get just those 5,000 contacts verified. So if you have 10,000 contacts, it will only cost you 3,000, a one-time cost, but you will have a verified database and you can be assured that you will not be blacklisted. Okay. Right. Now talking about how do you build the domain trust. If you're new to it, first of all, use a reputed email delivery service. Now, reputed email delivery service we have is MailChimp, SendGrid.com. Now, thousands of them are there. So you can just go online and search for it and pick and choose. I recommend SendGrid.com, pretty reputable and giving us great results and very easy to use. And their template library is quite huge. Okay. And even if it is very inexpensive as well, no proper voice. I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen, what is the problem. Could you Could you please confirm if you guys can hear me properly? Because one person is saying that it's no proper voice. No, we are getting clear audio. Can I log in? It's fine. It's very clear. It's very, very clear. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, those who are facing problem, please check your audio settings and probably other settings, because there is nothing wrong with my audio, because 95% of the crowd can hear me clearly. All right. Now, how do you build domain trust is, first of all, use a reputed software, email delivery software. I use SendGrid. I'm going to show that to you in a while. And why do we use it? Why we prefer it? Now, the other thing that I have seen people making mistake is with the sender name. When they are sending an email, you're using an email delivery system. Even when you're sending it from Gmail, you always set up a sender name. Now, what people do is this: either set up their own name, like Aman Bajaj, right? Now, nobody knows Aman Bajaj in your customer list unless you're sending it to your existing customers who know you very well. Now, this doesn't build trust. Remember the example of, I gave you the example of um, Sweet Business. First, we need to build the trust. And your domain name and your sender name plays a big role. In sender name, you should use some recognizable words which build trust with your customers, and it will also grab attention. Some of the words like if you add CEO, let's say Ankur Jain, CEO, and then CEO captures attention and build trust because someone authoritative sending an email, it does that. Or you can add word like consultant. If you are into any particular domain, you can add that also. Sales, marketing. If you're a TEDx speaker, if your company is popular, add that company name. This is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to just show you a quick example from sender email. So this is what we are using. And as you can see, all the emails, they carry this sales consultant, right? So two words: sales, that we deal with sales, everything sales, and consultant, that's for trust and authority building. So that's very, very important. Now, those of you who are doing regular campaigns, you can look into this aspect and change it accordingly. And if you're doing regular campaigns, do check out whether you're blacklisted or not. Now, that is the tool over there that I have listed, mxtoolbox.com. Now, what happens is, if you're blacklisted, you will not know. You will continue to send campaigns, and you can send campaigns, but what will happen is your delivery rate will drastically come down. Either most of your emails will go in spam, or they will not be delivered, bounce back. All those reasons will happen. So there is a beautiful tool that can let you know whether you are blacklisted or not. You just go over here, put in your domain, and click on blacklist. Check its free service, and it will let you know if you are blacklisted or you're not blacklisted. If you're blacklisted, then probably you should dump that database and try something new. It will take at least 6 months for you to get your reputation back. That's how it works. At least a minimum of 6 months. All right. Now, a couple of other things that you should do to avoid blacklisting. First of all, stick to a consistent schedule. Okay. So if you're sending your campaign at 12 o'clock, stick to that time frame. Don't just go try it in different time frames, because that counts as inconsistency, and ISP softwares monitor that. If you have been getting bounces in your databases, you always remove them. That's a very important exercise. I have seen, it's a very simple step. I have seen 90% people know about it, but I have seen 95% people not doing it. Bounces and unsubscribe, you should clear out, because over a period of time they start piling up, and it affects your reputation in terms of ISPs. Send emails with the 2 to 3 per week frequency, not more than that. 2 is the best one. Many people I have seen, they get too excited about it and start sending campaign uh, like every day, sometimes once a week, then other weeks like every day. Please don't do that. Now, when you're sending a campaign, don't involve more than 2 people in the company. If you have more than 2 or 3 people in the 3 people or 4 people in the company and you're putting them in there, it count as a towards a spam. And ISPs are monitoring that part or that aspect also, right? Avoid using spammy words like call now, buy now, guaranteed, lifetime offer. These are some of the spam words. We have prepared a huge amount of list of 400 spam words, which we will share it to you in the WhatsApp group after this. But this is just to give you an example that these kind of words in your subject line, in your email body will result in flagging spam to the cold email database. Okay. So do you provide this as a service? No, we don't provide this as a service. This is just for you to learn it and do it. A to B testing, A/B testing. Someone asked. I will when the time comes. I will have that covered. Now let's first take a look at before we take a look at how to build the email lead funnel and how to write the most effective subject line and email body. First, let's learn about the investments. Now we have seen email list builder tool. It costs about only 250 for a lifetime license. Now that's lifetime, but even if I count it for 2 years, it only costs 500 per month. Email delivery service like sendgrid.com, which I'm going to show you in a while, it only costs you 1,000 rupees per month. 1,500, not more than that, depends upon your contact list. If you have 40,000 contacts, or if you're sending 40,000 emails in a month, then probably you'll be paying a little higher than that, but nothing below 15, more than 2,000. Email list verifier service, if you're going to use that, it only costs you 1,500 per month, you know. Okay. Now the other is total investment that goes into entire thing is anything between 2 to 3,000, not more than that. With $250 license is a one-time investment, as you know. So this is pretty reasonable for an entire solution, which will be effective, which will be repeatable, and which will deliver results. So that's how it goes. Anybody can try that. Let's now talk about the second part of it, email lead magnet. What exactly is email lead magnet and how do we do it? If you guys remember, the one of the example that I talked about in the beginning is the sweet business example. Like when you have a stranger at your door, you don't straight away sell to it. What do you do is first you build trust, then you establish your authority over the subject matter or what you're doing right now. Then you give him the taste of what you're doing, and then you make an offer to him. And at this point, he will not resist or back off from that offer because he has the trust aspect in place. He understands you are an authority, and at the same time, he has got a taste of what you're doing. Now, if you ignore this part and try to make a sale directly, it doesn't work. And that is why majority of the marketers today are stuck, or salespeople are stuck, that they're not able to make sales. Even startups are struggling with it, and they're not able to generate inquiries and sales. And within 1.5, 2 years, 90% of the startups, they just go out of the business. So that this is in essence is a relationship building, and that's called a lead magnet. Now it is simple to talk because face to face it's easy, but how do you implement it in your email so that it can drive you results? Now when I say 10 times more leads you're going to get, I am talking about only 2 to 3 campaigns, you will start getting results. So be patient and check it out how it works, and you will be amazed and surprised how beautifully most of the top marketers, corporates, and sales leaders are using it and getting benefited from it. So that was email lead magnet in a simple, just for a simple understanding. Let's talk how we implement it. Now for that, it has 4 steps. One is the goal setting. Second is understanding the email funnel setup. Third is content marketing plan. And fourth is lead magnet setup. Now these might sound big words, ladies and gentlemen, but they are very simple to do it. As I said, I have been a sales agent. I'm still a sales agent, and even a sales agent, frontline sales agent, can implement it very easily. I will show it to you. So don't get baffled by these words. Wait till you see everything. First of all, goal setting. Now, it is very, very important to understand what exactly is your goal through the email campaigns. Now, most of the people, as I said, they go with the mindset. Even you can take a look into your inbox and you will see most of the email that comes to you. Can I have a call with you? Can I showcase the product with you? Can you try our product? All these things are going on. What does that tell you about their goal and their mindset? It tells that they are trying to sell it to you, they are trying to push it to you. Now, that is not a proper goal, because no customer likes selling, no customer like that pushy behavior. You yourself don't like, then how would your customers like, right? So, first of all, get the clarity on goal. Goal is to convert that list of unverified database email list that you have into your subscribers. What do I mean by subscribers is that the first goal is that they come to your website or they come to your blog and subscribe to your list. Once they become a subscribed, they become a verified subscriber, they become an interested person who is interested in your services. It's as simple as that. Now, that is the goal. So we are sending an email campaign to an unverified list, and we want them to subscribe to our list, know about us, so we can pitch an offer to them. That is the goal. And for that, you have to first establish trust and authority over the subject matter with your first campaign. And then with your second campaign, you give them the, showcase your craftsmanship, what you're doing, giving them the taste of what you're doing. And then you, third campaign, you just make an offer. And when you make an offer, it is always selling is subtle, unspoken, and it is self-realized by customer. It's as simple as that. So to speak, let's go and take a look at how we're going to implement it. It is implemented through an email funnel setup. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you do that? It has 4 steps. First, you have to get an attention of the customer. How do you get? Subject line plays a very important role in that. And with that, imagine subject line is like a movie teaser, right? So you write it in such a way that it for the entire movie that you're going to show, it becomes the teaser. People get interested in the teaser, then you get the attention of the customers. And in the next section, I'll be talking a lot about it, how to write the most effective subject lines and email body. But this is how the funnel setup works. If it gets confusing, please let me know. It might sound a little confusing. Yes, word limits and all, we will talk about it when we come to the section of subject line and email body. But let's first talk about how to set up the funnel. First is you have to grab the attention with the subject line. Second is you have to create interest with the email body. Email body is like a movie trailer where you give a hint of solution to them, that this is what you're doing in the market and these kind of problems you're solving, and you create an interest. The third step is the desire, where lead magnet plays a role. The next section I will discuss how you set up lead magnet. It's like a full movie. If you want to see a full movie, then subscribe to my list or do the section I want you to take, and then I will show you the full movie. And the fourth is, as soon as he subscribes, you ask him, you make your best offer about your product or your service and get him into buying that product. This is how it goes. So remember, this is the AIDA formula. AIDA. A for attention, I for interest, D for desire, and A for action. How do you get attention? Through subject line. Interest through email body. Desire through lead magnet. And action is when you make an offer about your product. Let's see how we can implement these. Now, before this, there is the content marketing plan you have to create. Now, again, it may sound big, but it's very easy. I'll give you an example also how you can do it. Now, before, if you would have noticed in the previous example, where I'm talking about setting up a funnel, and I would have mentioned about 3 campaigns. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a drip campaign so that we can ask our customers to take steps towards us, steps of relationship. Like I use this an example of sweets business, right? You first establish authority and trust, and then you give a taste of what you're doing, and third is you make an offer. So this step itself has 3 steps, right? This thing. So it's called the drip campaign. Now drip campaign is nothing but releasing information in a sequential tidbits. Now this is where majority of the marketer and salespeople are having a trouble. I get a lot of people, a lot of email campaigns. They are doing content marketing. They are releasing content, but it is in no particular order. If I just give you an example, when marketers comes to me, uh, so first day they are writing about SEO. Second day they are writing about Facebook ad. Third day they are writing about YouTube. Now, what is the problem here is it is not a drip campaign. Drip campaign is, it works sequentially. And why it is important to have a sequential campaign to create a dependency of customer on you. If customer is dependent on you, then you have him and he will buy from you. It's very simple. I'll give you an example also. See, I follow a couple of marketing leaders myself. One is Neil Patel. He's one of the top marketer. Now thousands of marketers write emails to me. They are doing content marketing, but I don't read all of their emails. But Neil Patel, I read all of their emails. Yeah, all the emails that are coming from him, I read that. I follow him because I'm dependent on him, because from the beginning he has been doing that sequential dripping of information to me, and I am using that information and I'm implementing that information and I am seeing the results out of it, and that is why I could see the results and I'm following him, right? So this is common human psychology, that we are only dependent on one or two people for one kind of function, and you would be doing the same, right? So it is very important to create that dependency, and for that dependency to happen, you have to create a sequential drip campaign. Take any topic and divide it into 5 sections, 6 sections, or 10 sections. No matter how small the tip is, it doesn't matter, frankly. In fact, people like small tips. Okay, but what you have to do is you have to break it down into 5 or 10 steps, and then create a drip campaign and slowly release that information to the customer to create the dependency on you. Once that dependency is created, that he starts following you, you have him. He will only buy from you. This phenomena is called as Toma effect. Toma, Toma effect, top of the mind awareness. So when I have a need for marketing, I will only remember Neil Patel, because that's the source from where being fed all the information about marketing. I'm going to only remember him. So this is how it works. So you need to create a dependency. So for example, let's say Ray-Ban is there. Ray-Ban is selling shades, glasses. Now all they need to do is create a drip campaign where they will say that we will tell you tips on how to choose a best glass for you, or best shades for you. Then they can create 5 tips about what is your face cut, how to choose according to your face cut, how to choose according to the events, like you're going to marriage, or you're going to stadium to watch a match, or probably you're going to dance party. Then what kind of glasses will work for you? You can create a campaign on that 5 tips, just 5 tips, and probably one on attire, like if you're in official, or if you're in party wear, or if you're in beach attire, what kind of glasses will work for you. All you need to do is, it's just a one-day efforts, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't take much, and you can create only small tips. Even two-liner tip is good enough for an email marketing campaign. You are not after, giving a lot of information to the customer. Anyway, they don't consume in that big chunk. What you want to do is, you are trying to create a dependency. If the dependency is created, he is yours. No matter what you sell, no matter how high price you sell, he's not going to go anywhere. Now, when you're creating a drip campaign, create 5 or 10 campaigns. That's more than enough. 5 campaigns is also good enough. If you create 10, it's even better. Then you decide, how do you deliver this information? Whether you want to create videos, text, blogs. This is also a very important decision, how your audience would like to consume it. If your audience is mostly on phone and in office, then text is best, because they every time they cannot open videos and watch videos, right? I believe right now text is still hold very good. If you can create videos, it's better, but it goes according to your audience, not according to your own choice. Face cut is the structure of the face. So someone asked a question, what is the face cut? Face is the structure of the face. Based on the structure of your face, some have round face, some have a thin face. Then what kind of glasses will choose? You can create tips on that. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this drip campaign can be even created for even if you're selling bananas also. It can be done. What kind of bananas will work for health freaks? What kind of for people who sits at office? It can be done for any product or service. So don't take it into your head that it doesn't work for my product. It works for any product. And then you choose what is your basically the delivery model: video, text, blogs. How do you want to share it? If you are into too many things, I would suggest go with text. Even a two liner is good enough. Just write 5 tips, two line, and start sharing it with the customer. Create 10 campaigns, and every week 2 campaigns, good enough for you. Okay, because after all, our goal is to create that dependency on the customer and eventually have him become from going from unverified customer to someone who has subscribed to our list. Okay, who has subscribed to our list. That's the goal we are trying to achieve here. All right, let's go with the next. How do you set up your lead magnet? It's pretty simple. The goal of lead magnet is, again, the drip campaigns that you have created, you deliver value through it and grab attention and interest of the customer, and then you want to turn them into subscribers. Now, if you would have noticed, those who are connected with me, my lead magnet, I'll give you an example how it works is, basically how that works is, you either find me on email or LinkedIn. When you see, let's say you come from LinkedIn or email, I'll give you an example since we are talking about email marketing. I share information about this webinar. I took one problem, and that one problem was how not to get blacklisted. I created actually 5 campaigns for this webinar only. So first campaign goes out in which I will tell what not to do to not get blacklisted by ISP. It was a small information, just maybe a 2-minute video. When that goes out in the email, I ask people to, if you want to join this webinar, subscribe. And then they subscribe. And then I ask them to join into my WhatsApp, and they become a part of my WhatsApp group. This is a lead magnet, a classic example. Okay, so what you can do is, when you have created your drip campaign, 5 or 10 tidbits of information that you're going to share, you send it in an email, then you ask them to come and to your blog and subscribe for more. Right now, this is called showcasing the full movie. So you give a trailer in an email saying, hey, this is the trailer. If you want to watch a full movie, become a part of my list. Okay, now to give you an example also, let's say you have written 10 bits of information, tips, 10 tips that you're going to share through your campaign. You can take 3 tips and write a blog about it, and then take 1 tip from there and send it in an email campaign. When you send it in an email campaign, customer will see 1 tip about solving 1 problem, and then you say, if you want 2 more tips, then go to my blog. He clicks on your blog, he reads another 2 tips from you on your blog, and there at the bottom you say, if you want 5 more tips, then become part of my email. It's as simple as that. That is one lead magnet setup. Second lead magnet setup, if some of you would have noticed, I published a list of 400 spam words. Now, what did I do? I took 5 spam words in that, and I put it in an email campaign. I sent it to everyone saying, these are the 5 spam words that you should not use. If you want the list of all the 400 words, then please download it from here. When they go to download through a Google form, it was, when they go to download, they need to give that email address to me. And once they give that email address, they can download the entire file. Now, what is happening is, subtly, they are becoming part of my system. They have chosen to become a part of my system. And when they land onto my either Google form or my blog, I am also selling there, where I mentioned that these are the services I'm offering. If you are interested, you can go for it. So certainly I'm selling it also without broadcasting about it, but more focus is on value and less focus is on selling. Selling is subtle. Selling is, unnoticeable. Customers should self-realize. So even if you're writing an ebook, at the bottom you can mention these are the services we are offering, more value, and in the end you can add these are the services I'm offering, and then you can ask people to download that. So this is how you create a lead magnet. Lead magnet can be created for YouTube also. Like you create a video, it's a 10-minute long video, take a 2-minute clip of it which solves one problem, send it through an email campaign and ask them to watch the video. When they come to watch the video, ask them to subscribe for the next video for the next problem, and that's how they become a part of your system. They chose to become. Once they chose to become, they are dependent on you. Once they are dependent on you, then you can sell them anything that you like. For salespeople and entrepreneurs, those who don't use or have website, you can even use it LinkedIn and create your lead magnet. What you can do is you can write a big article or a post on LinkedIn, take an excerpt from it which solves a problem, send it through email campaign, and ask them to come to your LinkedIn for more. And once they are on LinkedIn, ask them to follow you or connect with you for even more, and they become a part of your system. And once they are become a part of your system, it becomes so easy for you to sell it. Even people are doing it through WhatsApp also. Simple. They send an email, for more information connect with me on WhatsApp in my group, and then you can sell anything through the group. Yeah, that's very important. So this is how the lead magnet works. Once you set it up, it will help you achieve the goal of gaining subscriber, turning unverified subscriber to verified subscriber, and then you can sell them anything. And don't worry, like I mentioned, it's not important that you should have a website or you should use a website. You can use LinkedIn, you can use YouTube, you can even use WhatsApp and create your lead magnet. Now, couple of things you need to remember to create a lead magnet is the tip that you're going to share in email, it should be actionable. People should immediately learn from it and they should be able to implement it. It should be short advice, not a long advice like 15 tips you load him with, and then think that he will be dependent on you. He will not be dependent on you because he will not consume that information. Even if he consume, he will not implement everything. What you want him to do is, for the dependency to come into picture, you want to give him small information. Okay, it should create noticeable improvement. Something like I gave you an example, spam words. I gave 5 spam words. The choice of that word was very strategic. These are the 5 words that I selected that people use most often. So as soon as they got my campaign and they say, call now, book now, oh, these are the spam words and I have been using it. No, I should not do that. It's an immediately usable, noticeable, implementable solution. They did it and they wanting more. They wanted to know all the 400 words, and that's how they got into my system. Okay, it should be immediately available. Now that's very important. Like the list I published, you send an email campaign and you ask them people to download it, and download is available after 4 days. It doesn't work like that. People would, the common human psychology is, I want it immediate. Okay, so first create the backend, then work on the front end. And the tip that you're going to give, it should solve a real problem, not an imaginary problem. It should be actually related to the customer you're sending the campaign to, and it should solve that problem for him. It should be super specific, keep it small, quick to digest, high value, and demonstrate your expertise. That is how you build trust, you build authority, you establish your authority, and then you get people into your system. And then with the second and the third campaign, you can even start selling. People won't mind it. Right, now let's quickly talk about writing effective emails. So are we clear on how to set up the email lead magnet? Now that is the most important section. Only 2 sections are most important in it. One is the email lead magnet, and second being writing the effective emails and the email body. Okay, so let's first talk about effective emails. Effective emails writing is very important, because many a times what happens is some people are actually writing good subject lines, but when I open those emails, the content inside is not creating any interest and desire for me to take that action. Other emails that I see, they are so boring subject lines that I don't even care to open it. That's how you are. That's how most of the customers are. So what you want to do is you want to create most effective email subject line, most effective body, and most effective call to action for all this to take place. Remember, this is a lot of planning work, but once it is done, you're going to just reap the benefits one after the other. It becomes so automated that you won't even feel that you're doing it. It's just a one-time work. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the subject lines. Now, subject line is, as I said to you, it's like a teaser of your movie, like a poster of your movie. And people should make a quick sense out of it, that what you're doing in the market and what is the value that you're offering me. So when you are creating the tip for the customer, it should give a hint that what is inside. Okay. Now, one thing, couple of elements are very important for subject line to make it more effective and attractive. First being, it should involve emotion. Now, for your kind of audience, since you are all sales professionals, entrepreneurs, consultants are there, that pain point, that emotion is the problem statement, the pain of it. Okay. For example, I'll give you example. Examples are much better to understand. When I sent a campaign today morning or yesterday, when the campaign went out, uh, the campaign was mentioning, the subject line was how not to get blacklisted by ISP. So you see, I'm solving a problem there. So people feel, oh, I am at a risk to get blacklisted. There is another another subject line that we used is something like how to generate 10 times more leads. Now, that also reflects a emotion, saying, or you're not generating, either you're not generating email leads, or there is an opportunity you can increase it 10 times. So there has to be some emotion in it, because emotion drives decisions. It's as simple as that. So if emotion is missing, then nobody will take any action. So something like many emails we get where it'll say, hey, we have launched a new product, or we have launched this new feature today. That emotion is not the right emotion. It has an element of curiosity, but it's not strong enough for me to take an action on it. Right? In other cases, uh, they say we have announced a new product. There is no emotion in it. Or we have released this upgrade. There is no emotion in that. So you see, emotion is the driving factor. That is the one that drives the results. So have an emotion in your subject line. That's very, very important. Now, best performing subject line is that ask a provocative question. Like I gave you first two example, how not to get blacklisted. It's a provocative question. Another one is how to generate 10 times more leads. Again, it's a provocative question. So provocative questions are the best performing subject lines as per the research. Now, the second part of it is the action word. It should have one action word, something like how to. you know how to is a action word that make people take action. So that's very, very important. If you have an adjective, that's even better. Adjectives are very powerful. Something like, I gave you an example, how to generate 10 times more. 10 times more is actually an adjective. So if you have that adjective and a number, it's even more powerful. And then it has to be short. The subject line has to be short, because people mostly watch it on devices like mobile devices will cut short your email, so you cannot have more than 7 words or 8 words. That's too long. Okay. So make sure it's short. And at the same time, the first 5 words that you're going to put it in there, it should be meaningful. Because when you watch it on mobile, only 4 or 5 words will be visible. Now, in that 4 or 5 words, the message should give a clear hint that it should be meaningful, what I'm trying to say. If it is not meaningful, the meaning comes in the next 6, 7, or 8th word, then you lost the chance. You lost the opportunity. Yeah, I will give you more examples of action word it is just I'll give you more examples also. What are the better subject lines? So it is in the next slide. All right. Now keep it under 50 characters. Now that is 50 characters. Remember, it's not 50 words. Okay. And use headers and pre-headers. I'm going to show you both. Let me take you back to email and talking about headers and pre-headers for a moment. So when you're looking at an email, let's say this is my inbox. So what you see in the bold here is the header. And what you see right here is the pre-header. So pre-header is like giving a hint of what's in there in the email. Okay. So that's very, very important. So you check it out, the header and pre-header. It should be like you ask a question in header in the subject line, and in the pre-header, you give a hint. Okay. Hint of a solution. That's very, very important. Let me go back. And any email delivery service will allow you. I will show you that in a real time in a tool as well. Okay. Now another thing is, if you have a database of, let's say, 10,000, it is advisable to write 2 subject lines of the similar concept, but test it with 2 subject line and 1 subject line for 5,000, another subject line for another 5,000, and do 2 campaigns separately to test which one works better for you. Okay. Or even better, what you can do is, don't shoot immediately to 10,000, take only 500, test 2 emails line with them, and which one performs better, use that with the rest of the 10,000. So it's a little bit of effort for you, but it's going to pay you big time. Okay. Then there is a beautiful tool there, emailsubjectlinegrader.com, that will allow you to measure the effectiveness of your subject line. Let me just show it to you. Sorry, I closed it, but email subject line grader.com. There it is. Now, this is the tool that measure all these things that I have told you. It measures the emotions, it measures the action words, adjectives, and lot more other parameters behind the scene. And it will tell you whether your subject line is performing better or not. Something like that. For example, let's say how to generate 10 times more leads. Just to give you an example, once you hit go, it will tell you the score. So you see, it will give you some hints also, what works good, what works bad for you. Character counts 26, better. Word counts 5, even better. Action word is there, generate is the action word. Is it a provocative question? How to headlines are normally quite good and often receive a strong response. Yeah. So how to is always good because it provokes people to immediately take action. Yeah. You can use another one, something like use these 3 words to avoid spam filters. Let's see how. It's not a very good one. And it will tell you the reason also. This is a more general type of headline, right? And action word is there, avoid. So, but it's not going to perform well. So this is a perfect example of a beautiful tool that can really do figure out things for you. Let's go back and take a look at some of the subject lines which are really good. And you notice 3 things. One is the emotion is there in it. One is the action words, adjectives, and all that stuff. So first is how to generate 10 times more leads. Feed your guest without breaking the bank. Without breaking the bank is the pain statement. You know, when you'll read this, you will realize you're actually paying more. How to reduce that? Where do all the toys go? Now this is the surprise emotion. Get more kitchen space with these easy fixes. Now that is again targeting a pain point. So anyone who is having less kitchen space will go for it. Stop wasting money on ink. Your beauty issues solved. Now this is very powerful actually. Anything related to beauty, people fall for it a lot. since we can't all win the lottery, now this is a surprise element. This one will perform even better, how to survive your next overnight flight. Okay. So you see email subject lines, you got a hang of it. Let's move on and take a look at the email body, the next big thing. Now, this is where a lot of people go wrong and have a lot of questions about it. First of all, another one or two examples for action words. Action words can be, you know, anything you want people to do or avoid. So like avoid is a one, use is a one. So these are all action words. We are preparing a list for it. If you're part of our WhatsApp group, we will be sharing all the best email subject lines examples with you. We will share the action word list with you that works and are not spam. We will also share more email body examples with you, best around the world that people have got great results out of it. So we will be doing all that. So don't worry about it. This is not the place where I can go deep into it because of the limited time. But we will be sharing all this information through PDFs with you. So don't worry about that. Okay, now let's talk about the email body. Now, many times I have seen some people are able to through WhatsApp only we will be sharing all those things. So many times I have seen people can get actually people, other customers to open the email. But when it comes to the body of it, this is where they lose the game. Because inside the body, you will find only the selling pitch and nothing more. Okay. So this is where I mentioned to you guys that first thing first is deliver value. How do you deliver value? By solving one small problem for the customer. If you could solve that one small problem in 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines, it doesn't matter, but only target one problem. Length of the body is not a problem here. The one simple problem that you can solve for the customer, and it should be immediately actionable. That's all is required. Okay. So that should be it. Now it is very, very important, since your email body works as a movie trailer, it has to be in a right format, in a right structure, so that people get attracted to it. It does that interest building and they would like to want more. Now for that, corporates and top marketers and sales leaders have figured out a framework how to talk to people, whether you're talking it in person or you're talking it in over email or LinkedIn or any medium. It doesn't matter, whether through videos also, but they have perfectly figured out a framework which basically attract people, hook people immediately, and they get interested in your value proposition. And that framework is PSGA, plus storytelling. Now P stands for pain, where you talk first about the pain. Then S stands for solution, where you give a hint of a solution. G stands for gain, where you tell what will you gain after you apply this tip in your business. And then you ask them to take action, which is your lead magnet, where you ask them to visit some place for more. And all this has to be told as a story. This is the most powerful framework, and everybody is exploiting it who knows about it and who know how to use it, and they have been driving like so many results. You would have seen on LinkedIn also, you will have some posts, they have over 1,000 likes and over 500 comments, and when you go and check their profile, they will have only 2,000 connections. But they could do it because of this framework, this concept. Many times you will see videos also, you'll have crazy response from people because of these frameworks. Yeah, even you can look at your ads that you see in your TV. You will see ads following the same framework. To give you an example also, so that you can relate to it, let's say let's remember the example of Bonvita ad. How does the Bonvita ad works with you? First, they will show you there is a kid who is not growing taller. That's the pain part of it. And then they give you the Bonvita, and then they tell you the gain will be he will becomes 2 times taller, or within a week he will start gaining weight, or within a week he will start gaining height, all that is the gain part of it. And then they just tell you this is the offer, buy it. So it's pain, solution, gain. Even you can try with the other ads. If you will see the beauty products, first they will show you that there are pimples and all that stuff on your face. That's the pain part of it. Then they show you something, some tube. That's the solution. The gain, it will be clear face and you can go to parties. That's gain and action. That's how it works. So people have figured out this top framework that works with it. And in this framework, if you will write your tip, people will follow it. People will come back to you for more. Okay. I would like to explain it to you through an example. Difference between solution and gain. Solution is the feature, right? And gain is what is the result that it drives. For example, let's say I have this light next to me in this my home studio. uh, it is bright. When you tell it has led bulbs is a solution. It will be 10 times brighter than other normal lights. Now that is the gain. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at it. One example that I've got to you. This is the campaign that went out a couple of days ago, and we had got like I can't tell you, 150 people from LinkedIn have subscribed to us, and then over 200 from email, and then we have our own meetup groups and other WhatsApp groups. So we have over 500 subscribers in one of these, just one campaign. This is working amazing, and all our campaigns goes in the framework that I've told you. So take a look at it. I'm telling here as my story. So this is how the storytelling goes, and it is in the pain, solution, gain framework. And this is only going to solve one problem, simple problem for the customer, not a big problem that I'm trying to solve here. This is how people get attracted. It's implementable straight away and doesn't have to put much effort also by the people, by the customers. They just need to remember these 5 words. It's as simple as that. So take a look at it. As a sales executive, majority of my email campaigns used to get stuck in spam filters and were never checked or responded by customers. Now that is the pain statement. Yeah. I used to ask myself, what is the point in running email campaigns if I cannot be in front of the customers without a response? All my efforts turn to dust. Again, it's the pain I'm describing. Then comes the solution. One big reason I identified for email campaigns getting caught by spam filter is unknowingly heavy use of spam words. Words such as call now, buy now, free, guaranteed, limited offer. That's the solution part of it. Okay. Now comes the benefit part of it. After thorough research and testing, we prepared a list of 400 spam words not to be used in email campaigns that helped me achieve high email deliverability rate and response rate. Now that is the gain here. Now gain and email lead magnet are coming together. Now what I'm saying next is, if you would like to get the copy of these 400 spam words, please visit here. When they visit there, they can give the email and download this copy. They get the copy, I get the email, and when they download the copy, in the end, it will be all about my services that I offer. That's how it works. Okay. So you see, I converted unverified into subscriber. I established my authority that I'm doing something related to sales and marketing in this industry. I gave them the taste of what I'm doing. Yet they don't know everything about me, but they know it's immediately implementable. Now, next time when I send something, it will be part of this drip campaign, and that it will only create a dependency. Now you guys are in webinar. Again, it's a part of that lead magnet, right? And that's how I'm collecting emails, and I'm selling my products, generating inquiries, selling my services. And this has helped me take my company from one-person company to now one of the top consulting and training companies in India, where I'm doing business with companies like um, Accenture, GMR, and all the top brands that you can think of. a small company like mine doing such a big business with such big is, uh, email marketing has played a big role, and this lead magnet has played a big role. Okay, and this lead magnet that you have seen, I have explained it to you for email. It can be implemented for your LinkedIn also, same thing, for your YouTube, for your anything, it works. But right now I only showed it to you for email. Now someone asked a question about before I take in a dive into the last part of it. Someone asked a question, personalized emails. Now, if you could just quickly tell me, what do you mean by that? Because just with the word, I didn't understand. Personalized email, what does that mean, Devender Singh? If you could just elaborate on that. Okay, while you do that, let me just discuss the last section of it. So now, if you would have noticed, ladies and gentlemen, in the first section, we took how to build email list automatically without much investments and without much efforts. Second part, what we discussed about is your how to plan your email lead magnet. Why is it important from customer's perspective? Because it creates dependency on you through the drip campaign, and through the lead magnet your goal is achieved, where you want to convert those unverified people who doesn't even know you into someone who subscribe to your list, and then once they are, then you can sell them anything. Okay, so that's what we have done. Now in the third section, we studied how to write the best subject line that performs and how to write the email body that performs. In that last part was the lead magnet, the click to action. Let me just show you one of the email. It's very important that you take a look at it. So this is the SendGrid tool that we use. We do all the testing with this tool. Okay. Now these are some of the campaigns we ran last week. I don't know. It's not. My screen is covered with a lot of pop-ups, so I cannot purely see it, but you guys will have an idea. See, first thing you should look at is repetition. So we have sent over 45,000 emails for as part of our testing. 99% repetition is there. This tool tells you the repetition. If you see repetition going below 90%, it's a trigger. Something somewhere is wrong. Either the database is wrong, something is going wrong. You should look into it. These are the delivery rate. Delivery rate should always be above 95%. If it goes below 95%, which means your 5% or more than 5% emails are not getting delivered. It tells you the unique opens. Now that is 32, almost 33% for us. Now industry standard, if I tell you, it is somewhere between 16% to 20% for cold emails. We are also doing it for cold emails. But you see, if the subject line is right, it gives huge open rate. Unique opens is basically the new person, people who have opened your campaigns. Yeah. So that's unique opens. Then comes the unique click. Unique click is basically the new clicks that has happened, which is about 1%, half percent right now, a little over half percent. Now, for the cold leads, if you could achieve 1%, 1.5% of click-through rate, then you are amazing. It's giving very good results. Click-through rate is basically if you include a link into your email campaign or include a button in your email campaign and people click on it, that's called the unique click or the click-through rate. Yeah. So here it is. It's these are my campaigns. I'll show you one more campaign. So okay, pretty good. So there it is. These are the links we included in the campaign, and so far it went out to some 6,000 people, cold database, and over 85 people have clicked through it. That's what it means. Now that's pretty good. Actually, we are closing towards 1%, and we'll get very good results out of it. Now, talking about, let me show you an email campaign also. It's very easy. You have all the templates, drag, drop. That's how it works. And within 5-10 minutes, you can design your campaign. Let's take a look at this campaign. So this is, if you will notice, this is the campaign that I just showed you, where I just put a proper just text, nothing more. And I asked them to download the 400 plus spam list from here. Yeah. And then also I talk a little subtly, I talk a little about our services where they can check out if they're interested in my signature. So outright, I'm not selling it. And that is why we are getting such a beautiful response. So this is the SendGrid tool. You got an idea of it also. Now let's quickly go back and talk about the last section of it. How to measure the performance of your campaign. Now there are multiple metrics that you need to observe, and one being delivery rate. So it's called deliverability rate. How many emails you have sent and how many actually got delivered to the customer, right? That's very important metrics. If this metrics is going below 90%, it's a trigger. You might get blacklisted also. So you have to make sure you always stay above 90%. Okay. If it is below 90% means 10% of emails that you have, they are bouncing. Those are bad emails. Either, yeah, they are bad emails. Now there are two types of bounce. One is hard bounce. One is soft bounce. Hard bounce is basically the email is not good. That's called hard bounce. But if the inbox is full, let's say the inbox is full and your email is not delivered to that inbox, this is counted as soft bounce. Now soft bounce are not deadly. They are not as deadly as hard bounce. So if you have bad emails, then you should be worried. Okay. Now the next is open rate, open or unique open rate, right? Now let's say you have sent a campaign. Now someone who opens twice that email, then it is not a unique open. Okay. So let's say if you send it to 10 customers, 10 customers opened it 5 times, that becomes your 50 click-through rate, right? 50 clicks, it will count. But system, that's not a good way to count the system, right? System doesn't count that because that's wrong report. So what you should be looking at, unique open. So if my unique open is 10, then it means all the 10 customers has opened it one time. Okay, that's what it means. So you should be looking at both open rate. Open rate means that email is delivered in the inbox and customer has clicked on it to open it and read it. That's called open rate. Now open rate, if it is above 20% to the cold database, it's like amazing. Between 15 to 20%, it's average. Below 15%, you should be worried. Your subject line is not, either subject line is not getting attention or issue with the deliverability rate. Okay. So both you should look into. Now the next one is, after reading the email, you would like them to take some action as part of your lead magnet. Either go and onto your blog and subscribe, or go onto your LinkedIn and subscribe, or download some PDF file ebook that you have created for them. So you want to take them some action. So when they click on that link or that button, that is counted as click-through rate. Now, if click-through rate, you're getting between anywhere between 2 to 5% or 1 to 5%, I would say, it's amazing. Okay. Below 1%, then you should be taking a look at how you can improve it. Either the message, the problem that you're solving is not addressing everyone. That can be one reason, right? Then you should probably take a look at your the tip that you are giving for that problem. It might be only to limited people. That's why limited people are taking action on it. then probably you should create another drip campaign, or maybe send the second drip campaign and see how you get the response. If the response to that also is not good, then there is a problem, right? Something like I'll give you an example. When we did LinkedIn marketing webinar and we started the email campaign for that, we had 10 times more results, right? People subscribing it, because that was the hot topic. When we did for email marketing, the results were like half, because it's I don't think so in my audience it is a very hot topic. So that's half the results we got. And maybe when we'll do it for cold calling telemarketing, we might have a little less results, because not everybody is doing cold calling. So that way you should relate to it. If your click through rate is not coming, second thing is, if click through rate is not coming, then probably it is too much down. You should try to bring it up to the middle somewhere. That can also be the problem, that people are just scrolling only half, and then they are losing interest, and then they are not clicking on it. That can be another problem. Third problem can be that the text that you have mentioned, which says, okay, click here to do this, to take this action, that is not encouraging. Probably you should change that text and make it more provocative, more encouraging. That can be the third problem with the click-through rate. Then comes the soft and the hard bounce. Hard bounce is not in your control. These are bad emails. You just need to get rid of it out of your database. You have a tool for it. I've already suggested that. Or if you want to do it manually, you can do that, but it should be out of your system. Soft bounce, try 4 or 5 campaigns, and if you see those names coming up regularly, then take them out. Now the next one is unsubscribe rate. This is, I'm going to show it to you. This is the last thing. I'm going to go back to dashboard. Now when you send an email campaign, these email delivery services in the end add some text, and that text says, if you did not opt for it, or if you would not like to receive it, you can unsubscribe from it. They give that option by default, and it has to be there, and it is important also, because otherwise you will not know who wants to receive these emails, who doesn't want to receive these emails. You don't want to irritate someone. You will never get him as a customer. So for that, it is this unsubscribe option or spam report. So people will click that option and say either it is spam or unsubscribe me. So this report will come to you. It should be less, just below 0.5%. If more people are reporting it as spam, either your database is wrong, you're targeting the wrong audience, or your message to that audience is wrong, the entire message, they're not liking it, something is wrong, you need to change it. All right, so this is how you look at all these parameters and decide where the problem is happening for much better results, 10 times more results, and get more inquiries, more sales, grow more, and do even better. With that idea in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from my side. So thank you very much for being there. All of you were there till the end, which I loved it. Thank you very much for that. So here it is, a quick note on what we do. I'm into sales consulting and sales training, and the company name is Disha Consultants, and I help sales professionals, entrepreneurs learn the art of authoritative selling and crack sales in first meeting or call. That is what I do. For that, I run programs, programs for sales professionals, program for entrepreneurs, and program for corporates. So that's there. I have, you can find these on my website. You have free video courses over there, and then you have sales training workshops for small teams, sales professionals, entrepreneurs, freelancers, and then you have corporate trainings, that sales trainings I do. I'm totally focused on sales, and that's what I do. That's where my specialty lies. And as part of it, I teach them demand generation through calling, through email, through LinkedIn, through YouTube, and as well as how to convert those inquiries into sales in the first meeting or first call itself. That's where my specialty lies. With that idea in mind, thank you very much. Let me see if any questions are there. Really informative webinar. Thank you, Amit. Thank you so much. Well, what's my website? The website is right on your screen, dishaconsultants.com. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback. That let us know what kind of job we are doing. Can you share spam word list? I will be sharing it. Yes. Can I get a recording? Yes, Amit Sharma. Authoritative sales training is a fantastic value for time, money invested, and all recommended to everyone here. Thank you, Prayesh. Thank you for sharing that feedback. Will you provide us recording? Yes, you will be getting a recording also. Are there any standard email campaign checklist? That's good, Sumati. What I will do is my team will put together, and in the coming days, we'll share the checklist also. That's a good idea. We'll do that for you. The webinar is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing the feedback. Really loved it. For individual database, can we send email mentioning their name as Dear X through, yeah, you can. Your, if your email database, the Excel sheet or the CSV file that you will upload, if it has only email, then you cannot do that. Then you have to have all the first name and last name also. And then in the email delivery tool, you can select the parameter where it will say hi or dear first name. You will get that. Awesome information. Thank you so much. Yeah, recording will be shared. Spam words list will be shared. How many emails can a prospect get during 1 month? Like I mentioned, per week 2 is good enough. So don't go beyond 8. Uh, it's good. You should be in regularly in front of him, but at the same time, you should not bombard him with all that kind of emails to irritate him. Added a lot of knowledge. Thank you very much. Is there a way to determine if the email has landed in inbox or spam? Yes, there is a way, not directly, but indirectly. Open rate. Open rate tell you if your open rate is high, then which means it's getting in the inbox. If our open rate is very low, then it means somewhere something is wrong, and one of the reason can be that it might be landing in the spam box. So there is no direct tool right now which can go and fetch that information. It's not possible. So that's how you indirectly figure it out. How do we apply this in B2B scenario, especially to CXOs? This is all designed for B2B. I'm into B2B, so this is all designed for B2B, and everything that I've told is applicable for B2B and CXOs. Yeah, like to suggest one point that your email may be opened someday, if not today. That's why email campaign is important. Email campaigns are very, very important. Can we use Outlook itself for databases less than 500? Uh, See, the problem with the Gmail and inbox is basically these are free services, and for I can't I don't think so. You can go beyond 250, but I will confirm that to you. Okay, per day, 250 per day. So what you can do is you can divide. One campaign goes today, one campaign goes tomorrow. You can do that. Don't go for 500 even if it is possible, because you don't want that to you know get blacklisted. So standard advice would be go for 250. Are there any word limits for subject line? Like I mentioned, there are no as such limits to it, but keep it between 5 to 7 words. It should do very good. Okay. Email body, again, there is no limit to how many words you can mention. It all depends upon the tip that you're giving for what kind of problem. Okay. So as long as it is solving a problem, as long as it is implementable right away, as long as it is easy to digest, as long as straight away I can take it and apply it, and as long as it doesn't involve too much work for me, it's fine. Length doesn't matter. Okay, understand human psychology. I am not that kind of a guy who will read the entire email and then take all the 5, 10 steps you have told me and do it. That will not create dependency. It's good to know. I will be excited to know all that, but then if I don't implement it, the dependency will not come. Main thing to consider while preparing buyer persona in B2B. main thing to consider is the initiator. Yeah. So initiator, not the decision maker. See, every organization will have one initiator, which we call it influencer, and a decision maker. For example, let's say someone has to buy a CRM. Now, CXO will only sign the check, correct? But the person who would be more, who will initiate this discussion within an organization will be either the VP or the sales manager, right? So you should be considering whom to target with your drip campaigns. Who is the initiator within that organization I should go after? If you go after CXOs, he will ignore it unless his VP will come and say we are having a lot of trouble with the CRMs. We need to change that CRM. Then he might suggest, hey, someone was sending emails to me. Try this one. That can be one scenario. But then it will only happen when VP goes to him. Correct. So you don't want that delay to happen. So instead, you target both CXO and VP, both. All right. I hope that answers. It's exhausted. Uh, Thank you for your valuable inputs. You're welcome. Thank you very much. How to guess customers' problem? Um, this is a very good question. How to guess customers' problem? Well, let me tell you, you are building a product, you should know, or you're selling a product, you should know that. Uh, like for sales training, we are into sales training. We know lead generation is a problem. We know sales conversion is lead conversion is a problem. We know lead generation on email marketing is a problem. So that is how you have to think through it based on the features of your product and service, right? So based on the features, you think through and so see if this feature is there, what kind of problem it solves for the customer, and take that problem and create 5 simple tips for it, create a drip campaign, and hop on to SendGrid and start sending those campaigns 2 every week. Any other questions for me? I think we are done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being such a nice audience and for being giving such good inputs, asking such good questions. I really enjoyed interacting with you. I hope there was takeaways for you, and I really hope that you try it, because it's good to know, but unless you try, you won't see the results. And let me tell you, people are changing their fate, they're building their careers, they're building their companies with this thing. Okay. And all my webinar, if you would have noticed throughout the webinar, there is nothing that involves a lot of efforts. Yes, there were some very big words, but when you implement them, it's small things, and there is nothing that even the salespeople can implement it. I have been a salespeople, I am still a salesperson, and if I could do that, anybody can do it. Thank you again. How length should an email be considering campaign? Like I mentioned, length doesn't matter. What matters is the problem you're solving. If that solving that problem involve 2-3 steps, it's fine, no problem. Don't go beyond giving 5 or 10 suggestions. People will just consume it, but they will not use it. If they don't use it, the dependency will not come on you. If the dependency doesn't come, then campaign has failed. You really shared simple and unknown things in a fantastic way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing that feedback. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be sharing the recording with you probably in next couple of days, because we have to edit it. We have to take out some bits here which are not useful, and then we will upload it in our YouTube and we'll share it with you. With that idea in mind, thank you so much for being here, and enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend, have a blast, and let's get productive from Monday. Thank you very much. You sent an email campaign containing a sample of 5 spam words people should not use. Why didn't this email land up in spam since the email content contains spammy words? Well, there is no straight answer to it. Your email can escape spam or cannot. It depends upon the use of words, how many times it has been used, and in what important places you have used it. So let's say if I would have added a button, and in that button I would have said call now, it would have landed in spam. But I mentioned it as a simple text. Okay, so that escaped the spam filters. So if you want to avoid spam filters, don't use signatures. Don't embed pictures into signatures, logos into signatures. Don't embed hyperlinks into it. Keep it plain text. One hyperlink is good enough. Keep it very plain text, and it will pass the spam filters. Okay, that's very, very important. Don't embed images. Right now I am seeing marketers are heavily loading their campaigns with beautiful images. See, beautiful images is part of just presentation. It has no impact on the decision. You should realize that. And most of these emails will land in the promotion or the spam box. Log into your email today, Gmail account, go to the promotion tab, and see how many emails get stuck there. You can go over it and you will see all these things over there. All the mistakes that I mentioned, they will be making. They'll have beautiful images embedded in it. I don't see a use for it. When if I cannot make it to the inbox, no matter how beautiful that email is written, how beautiful the content, the pictures are, it's dust, it's waste, it's dead, done, end of the story. So make sure you add value and follow these steps rather than working on the presentation part. I send simple text emails. People read, people respond, people reply to it, they subscribe to it, and all the magic is happening. With that, thank you very much. Go and enjoy your evening. Have a nice dinner. Have a blast for the next 2 days. Stay safe, stay at home, and we'll be in touch on Monday. Thank you very much. Have a good day.